From our Center for the Arts studio, this is your Ashland University Eagle News Update. I'm Connor Dunwoodie.
And I'm Ingrid Schmidt. Thank you for joining us.
Considerable progress has been made in the Ashland University Provost search. TV20 sat down with Dr. Mason Posner, chair of the Provost Search Committee.
Then sort of a multi-step process where we've taken all the initial applications and discussed those to find a smaller pool that we wanted to talk to by video interview. We started with 45 to 50 applications and then narrowed that down to 9. So we had 9 candidates that we invited for video interviews. So we did that through Collaborate and Blackboard. And so the committee met with those 9 by video and then met after all those interviews were done to try to narrow the pool down further. A lot of this was in conjunction with the president, who also looked at the interviews, wasn't involved in the interview process, but looked at the recordings of the interviews afterwards. And so between the committee recommendations and the recommendations of the president, we've narrowed that pool now to 5. And so we're in the process of scheduling campus visits for 5 candidates.
The campus visits will include open forums for students and faculty to get to know each candidate. The committee has also made the CV for each candidate available on the AU portal.
Among the many events on and around campus, the weekend before Thanksgiving was Ashland's first ever Turkey Trot. AUTV 20's Tom Nesbitt has the story.
Local runners gathered on Ashland University's campus the morning of November 21st to participate in the Turkey Trot, a 5-kilometer run-walk to benefit the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. In addition to receiving donations for St. Jude, the executive board, which planned the event, also placed signs along the route to try and raise awareness for the hospital among the runners and other members of the community. To St. Jude Executive Board member Gabby Vitale, it looks as though the efforts paid off.
Our campus advisor, Ashley Chrisman, actually gave the idea of doing a winter fun run, a turkey trot, something along those lines. And I was like, I've worked races before, so I'm like, oh, this should, I can do this, let's organize this. And so that was kind of the idea behind starting this whole event. And so I hope that it'll be something that will stick, because for the time frame that we had for organizing it, and about 7 weeks, I think we put on a fairly successful event.
Despite the mid-November chill and some logistical issues, the event had a great turnout, and the runners themselves enjoyed the experience.
We had a little over 30 participants. We were rooting for 50, and as of, I want to say, Thursday, we only had 12 signed up. So we were really happy with the turnout that came this morning to register.
I ran a little longer than I planned, probably
2 miles.
2 extra miles, but it was still fun. Didn't really matter. Had some people cheering me on, some Ashland kids, so that was fun. I would absolutely participate again. It was very fun. I'd be very excited.
All in all, this year's Turkey Trot looked to be a great start to a new tradition in Ashland, and another example of the continual effort the Ashland community takes to give to those in need. This has been Tom Nesbitt for AUTV 20's Eagle News Update.
AU Greek Life recently held their annual lip sync competition between the different fraternities and sororities on campus to raise money for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Winning first place for the sororities was Alpha Phi, and first place for the fraternities was Phi Kappa Psi. The event was held in the new Ashland High School Theater and raised over $3,700 for St. Jude's.
The Ashland University Athletic Department announced the new drug policy that is in place for all student athletes. We sat down with the Athletic Director, Al King, and Assistant Athletic Director, Adam Bracken, to discuss the new policy.
So we feel that we have a good comprehensive plan, and our feeling is, obviously there's drug testing with it, but we also believe if someone has a problem, I call this a 2-pronged plan, because there's a way that we can get, if somebody does test positive, we can get them the help they need.
I think the policy is great. I think it's something that's needed, and not needed in a way that we have an issue with drugs on campus. I firmly believe that's not the case. But we need a support system in place to identify the kids that need help.
Really, what happens if somebody tests positive the first time? The penalties would be you miss 10% of your team competitions, you do 20 hours community service, and you have to pass a drug test to get back on the playing field. Someone gets a second offense, all of those levels go up. For example, you miss 20% of your competitive schedule, do 40 hours of community service, and then you'd have to pass a drug test again. And then the third time is when you'd be removed from the program, and we certainly hope that that's not the case.
In the end, the major part of the policy is getting help, getting counseling, getting these student athletes the support that they need in the event that they have a problem.
We want to be a first-class organization. We have been on the field and in the classroom. This is just the next part of this. We want to play within the rules. We want people here who are committed to doing the right things, and this is a step in that direction.
For more Ashland University news and sports, don't forget to check out the Collegian at www.ashlandcollegian.com.
And tune in every weekday morning from 7 to 9 to the Early Bird's Word on 88.9 WRDL.
That's it for this Ashland University Eagle News Update. I'm Connor Dunwoodie.
And I'm Ingrid Schmidt. Thank you for joining us.
you.